So this is a little bit of a different video. It's not really a fitness video, but I wanted to talk about this because I just came back from Paris again. I've been there a last I've been in Europe, I would say, 3 times in the last 12 months, and I got to go back again. So it's gonna be four. But the one other thing I want to talk about is how to experience things in life, because what happens, especially as we get older, I think what happens is when we get to high school, we're like stuck in this little bubble where that's our world. And then our graduation comes, and then that's when we're like, I'm going to go to the next step in life and experience things and this and that, right? So what happens is when we do experience these things in life, we decide, oh man, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna go for this degree, I'm gonna start this business, I'm gonna do whatever you may think, right? But what happens is you kind of fall into this bubble again in like the bubble that you were at in high school. And as a result, you're just kind of stuck in this little thing. And personally, I currently live in Vancouver, and one of the reasons why I do want to leave this city is because I do find that it is a little bit of a bubble here. So people here, they never really do anything outside of Vancouver. Everything here revolves around Vancouver. Now, maybe that's just how cities are. Maybe that's just how towns are. When things happen, it's all like people think local. But when I tend to travel and go to different places, I feel like my mind kind of changes and I think a little more internationally. So I don't know if it's a Vancouver thing, but I just want to talk about, because I've had decent experiences. Now, obviously, I want more experiences. I want to go for Umrah. I want to go for Hajj. I think that's like kind of like my next thing in my arsenal. But I've been able to do some really cool things. Like I've seen FC Barcelona, my favorite team, play 3 times now. 3 times, I think. Yeah, 3 times now. I've seen Messi play twice. I've gone to the San Siro, not just San Siro. I've gone to San Siro twice. I booked an Airbnb, 2 Airbnbs, right by the San Siro. I've gone to the Milan derby, Inter Milan versus AC Milan or Milan. I've gone to the Champions League 2 times now. One at the San Siro, one at the Nou Camp. I've been to the Montjuic, which is not even the Nou Camp. So I've been to that stadium. And I absolutely do not like that stadium, which is the current Barcelona temporary stadium. I've been to more games. I've been to like West Ham, Newcastle. I've been to another game. I can't remember. Anyways, I've been to a bunch of games. I've seen the Lakers play. I've seen LeBron play. I've seen Luka Doncic. I've been to the Crypto.com arena. I've traveled to different places. I've met certain people like Gary Vee. I currently, work with an influencer online who with millions of subscribers, and sometimes I tend to sometimes I look at it like, okay, it's like whatever, like it is what it is. But when I look at it, I'm like, okay, you know what? These are like some pretty good accomplishments. Like I'm 28, 29, going into 29 very soon, and I have these jerseys as well. Like, I would say I live a good life. I'm currently married as well, so I would say I'm in decent shape. Like, I take care of my health. I have straight teeth. Like, it's like this. It's like I'm not trying to like brag or say this and that, because there's a lot that I need to do. Like financially, I need to improve financially. I want to move out of this city. There's so many different things that I want to achieve in my own personal life, but there's certain things that I've been able to do that most people have just seen on TV or on social media. So I wanted to just talk about how to experience things in life. I was just by the Eiffel Tower last week. You can check out my Instagram. I took a picture. So, and obviously I want to go for Umrah. I think that's the biggest thing I want to achieve. So this is probably a video for myself on how to experience things, how to plan things properly. And the biggest thing, honestly, is it's like a limiting belief type of thing. So you can do whatever it is that you want to do, like obviously like achievable. You just have to have the vision for yourself, and you have to have the belief for yourself. And when I was 18, I kind of had a little bit of a different, I didn't really have the conventional like education. Like I went to a boarding school and then I went to community college. So I didn't actually go to high school here. Like I did everything in adult school. And that could also play a factor. But you just have to do things differently. You have to think a little bit differently to the way that the masses think. And you do that by figuring out something that you want to do. I always say this: figure out something you want to do, find a date for it, and then at all costs figure out how you can do it. So for example, the Milan Derby, that was one of those things where I was so dead set on it. It was so hard finding tickets because it was sold out. And I did literally, like, I was on Reddit, I was asking around, I was on Twitter, I was literally like just trying to figure out how to get tickets. There's a site, I think it was StubHub, one of those sites, but it was not guaranteed to get tickets. I wanted guaranteed tickets. So what I did was one day I was just like, because I was just constantly like just trying to figure it out. I saw one person, he was like, oh, I just got tickets on this website. I think it was called, oh, I forgot what it was called. It was like F1 or something like that. I forgot what it's called. FS1's as a TV channel, I think. But it was one of those websites, right? And it was guaranteed to get tickets. And then I asked him, like, hey, like, I looked at his thing. I was like, oh, you got tickets from here? He's like, yeah. So it was on Twitter. I don't know the guy personally. I just literally saw the post and boom, right away. So I got tickets from there. And from there, I got my guaranteed tickets, and I thanked the guy after, and then yeah, he's like, I hope you enjoyed it. I think he went too. I've never met, but it was a great experience. But it's just like one of those things, like you just have this vision that of something you want to do, and then you just kind of go at all costs and you just do it, right? And actually, for example, like the Mbappe, now that I remember, I went to a PSG game, Mbappe's last game at home in Ligue 1 for PSG, right? I don't support PSG, I don't care about PSG, but I wanted to see that last game because it's Mbappe's last game at PSG. So I ended up going to that game, which was I actually like to. Okay, this is a topic outside, but I like Toulouse, so I was kind of happy to see Toulouse play because Toulouse is probably my favorite team in Ligue 1. So I saw Toulouse play. I was standing right beside like the supporters. I was happy because Toulouse won. I think they won like 3-1. So I went with some of my in-laws and then I was like trolling them. But anyways, so things like that. I just had that vision. I was like, you know what? Like, let's just do it. Also, like sometimes like you're like maybe you're like 2 steps. Like maybe what happens too is that when for example, you want to go to a Champions League game. And maybe you're like in 2 different countries, right? But if you just make it a little easy for yourself to get to that goal, you're kind of like a step away. So whenever I've kind of done these things, I was always like kind of like a step away from doing it. When I went to LA, I didn't intend to go see the Lakers play. I was just there, but I took the opportunity. And that's another thing too. A lot of times when we want to do something, maybe it's like a step away from us, but we just don't take that opportunity. And sometimes it's just a matter of taking that opportunity. Like I think if I found an opportunity to go for Umrah, for example, it was just like a step away, I probably would take that step, but I think that's a different story. So if something is a step away from you, literally, then that's maybe your sign to take that opportunity. The time when I met Gary Vee, I was literally like, I was struggling financially, right? Like I was in school and this and that, but I really wanted to go. And I went for dinner with someone, with a friend, and then he brought a friend, and then the friend was like, oh, I have a code to go to the Gary Vee event. I was like, okay, cool. So I went to the Gary Vee event, and then I ended up talking to the person. I just saw the person organizing. I previously saw that this person was organized it, like I think on social media. So I went up to him. I was a photographer at that time. I was like, hey, I'm willing to take pictures for you. Like, he's like, thanks. I already have photographers, but thank you. So what I did was I kind of strategically did it. I posted because it's like, oh, we have one person who can meet Gary Vee, right? Or one person who can be in the VIP, upgrade to VIP. So I just kind of like posted certain things. I was like, oh, grateful to be here, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, I didn't really think anything about it. I was like, you know what? If I get chosen, I get chosen. But I kind of put myself in there by introducing myself to the person who was running the event. And then at some point, I was like chilling, right? I was in front of, like, because after the event, Gary Vee was there. He was talking to a few people, and then I was there too. But this was like after the event, like, and then I got a text, and then I was like, "Oh, so congratulations, you've been upgraded to VIP." And I was like, "Oh my God!" So right away I just left, and then I went to the VIP spot. Like there was a whole different venue. I went there, and then I whatever, I talked Gary and this and that. Nothing crazy, honestly. It was not as crazy as I thought, but it was cool, right? But I had that vision, and it kind of just happened. So that's the thing. You just have to have your vision, and then you kind of just go achieve that vision. And it's a reminder for myself, because I think the last few years personally, I would say last 2-3 years, I've kind of been in this stalemate where I haven't really I haven't been thinking high enough, or I haven't been thinking, like, I haven't been looking to achieve enough. And it goes back to like when I was in my, like, just before that, like, and now, even working with an influencer that I've been watching on YouTube for such a long time. And that one wasn't really strategic. That one I kind of just went in my way, and I kind of just did things to kind of achieve that. But even that's I was the only member. I'm currently the only member. It's been like 3-4 years. I was the only subscriber. I'm probably like the only subscriber that works with him. Like, I don't know any other subscribers that work. Maybe there are some, but I'm probably, and he has millions and millions and millions of followers. So it's not like I'm doing something crazy. I'm just having these visions, or I'm just doing things differently to the masses. Even like my work, when it comes to my work, a lot of people don't know what I do when it comes to my work. I don't do anything specific. I just find ways to make it work. So my project management, this online coaching thing, I'm just having these visions that are things that I want to achieve, and then I'm trying and I'm figuring it out. And then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But I think the biggest thing is I'm taking action, and I'm actually like I'm just going for it. And when you go for something, you kind of get out of this state of like, what if? And it's more like, okay, well, let's see how it goes. That's kind of the mindset I always have. Like, let's see how it goes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but I'm just going after my visions. And that's kind of why my email for some time, or my email currently is ibras.visions, or my Instagram used to be called Ibras Visions, because I would just set visions for myself, and I would go for these visions. And like, I'm trying to learn certain things. Like, I'm trying to learn Arabic. That's like something I've been trying to learn. So I've been going to a class once a week type of thing. And that's something that I've also been looking to achieve. But I always had it in the top of my head, I need to learn this because I want to understand the Quran. So like, it's like certain things. And I think the last thing, because I think I've been talking about this for some time now for this in this video, is don't give up on whatever it is that you want to achieve. Because what happens, and this is where people let go, is they have something that they want to do, but the goal is so far away, or maybe they failed so many times that they decide, you know what, let's just let it go. I don't have time, things are changing. But what happens, and this is something that I think I do really, really well, is no matter how, even if I stop doing something for a little bit, I always come back to it. And the reason why I do that is because it's kind of like, let's try on one more time. Let's try one more time. Let's try one more time. Let's try one more time. I'm like very resilient when it comes to myself. So like, for example, I have some financial goals and I haven't reached those financial goals, but I am so resilient that I really, really want to achieve those financial goals that I always come back to it. I'm like, you know what? Let's try again. Let's try again. Let's try again. Let's try again. Where most people fail, this is with their health, this is with their finances, this is with their relationships, is they just give up. And then because they give up, that's when they let go. And this is where people get out of shape. This is where people, they work a job that they don't like, or they just kind of settle for a career that they're not happy with. This is where you know, maybe they're in a marriage that they're not happy with, or maybe they're not in a marriage at all. So, or maybe they're not learning anything anymore. Maybe they're kind of dying a slow death. That's when you die. When you're not growing, that's when you're pretty much just dead, right? There's no purpose, no reason for you to live. And something that I've always done to make, like, for my own self, is never stop growing, never stop improving, always try. And there's times when I've said, you know what, I give up, but I've always come back to it. And it's one of those things where I think I do really well. I think I have this resilience within me to just always keep trying, no matter what people say. Sometimes it will discourage you. People ask you, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Your thing sucks. Like, people criticize you. But when you stick with your vision, you have your vision. You know what your vision is. So stay resilient. And that's all I wanted to say. But anyways, if you've actually gone through this whole video, shout out to you. Check out the link down below to check out my fitness stuff. I have some some 30-minute session. I've been talking for a while, so now my thought process is a little bit but anyways, yeah, check out the link down below for a 30-minute free call, just to see if makes sense to work together. And yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Let me know, are you, well, yeah, you know what, that's fine. Just leave a comment down below. I'll talk to you later. Don't forget to stay authentic. Peace.